On this edition of Gameball NFL Endzone, we're going to do our weekly recap of the AFC and NFC Championship games, as well as bring you our breakdown of Super Bowl 52, and of course give you our predictions to let you know who we think is going to be holding up that coveted Lombardi Trophy. Only two teams are left remaining. Only one team can be crowned Super Bowl champion. It's officially going down right here. Gameball NFL Endzone starts right now. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Gameball NFL Endzone, where the football season never ends. I'm Marcus Young, Jenkins.
I'm Michael Riley.
And I'm Luke Hartnett.
And of course, we're coming at you every single Wednesday. Stonewall Restaurant and Pizzeria, right here, 1008 Mass Street, here in Lawrence, Kansas. Want to definitely give a shout out to everyone that has been supporting Stonewall Pizza as well as our podcast. Thank you for all the followers on social media and also the subscribers on the YouTube channel as well. We're going to get things started. We're going to recap the AFC and NFC Championship games that happened over the weekend. We are going to start things off in the AFC, and that was between, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New England Patriots. This game, for most people, I would say, went the way, at least the outcome of who won the game, most people predicted that. This was a game, I would say, I picked the Patriots. We all three of us here picked the Patriots to win the football game. However, I've kind of put this on an upset watch because of how the Jacksonville Jaguars, they put up 45 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it was interesting to see how they were actually going to play against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, and they fared well. But then again, experience will be the thing that would prevail for the New England Patriots. Of course, this is definitely, like we discussed, not uncharted waters for the Patriots, and they would be victorious by a score. By a score of 24-20. So I got something caught in my throat. But Blake Bortles played pretty solid in this game. 23 of 36, 293 yards, as well as throwing one touchdown pass for the game. Rookie Leonard Fournette, 24 rushes, 76 yards. He would also take one to the house for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Allen Hurns, 6 catches, 80 yards. Total offense, 374 yards with a total of 22 first downs. Their time of possession will be 35 minutes and 8 seconds. 6 of 15 on third down conversions. They would also commit 0 turnovers in this game. On the defensive side of the football for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they would have 3 sacks, 6.5 tackles for losses, and they would have 1 fumble recovery. The New England Patriots, Tom Brady, 26 of 38 for 290 yards, and he would also throw for 2 touchdowns in this contest. Dion Lewis would have 9 rushes for a total of 34 yards in this contest. Brandon Cooks, 6 catches, he would have 100 yards. Total offense for the New England Patriots was 344 yards, and they would also have 22 first downs. So kind of similar with the total offense as well as the first down mark. 24 minutes and 52 seconds will be the time of possession. So you can definitely tell in a lot of ways they kind of executed a lot more. They're definitely a team that they get on the field, they handle business, and then they try to get off the field. They were 3 of 12 on third downs. They would have 1 turnover. Defensively for the Patriots, they would have 3 sacks, 5 tackles for a loss, and they would also commit 0 turnovers. Mike, I want to start with you. How was Tom Brady and the Patriots able to make that comeback the way they did in the fourth quarter and ultimately win this game?
Well, this is typical New England. I expect nothing less but a very close game. When Jacksonville was up by 10, and you also had Ron Gronkowski, who went out with a vicious concussion injury. That maybe kind of slowed down the Patriots' offense as I thought, but it didn't change a bit. Every player stepped up. Damian Lillard stepped up on third down big, especially that third down at 18. and backed up their own 30-yard line, completed for 21 yards on third down and 18. So when Jacksonville Jaguars went to zone, Brady saw that and he exposed them in the inside instead of the outside, because you can't throw the outside of numbers against a good Jacksonville Jaguars secondary. You have to tackle at the end, and that's what happened. Then you also have the running backs in the pass game stepped up as well on the outside part, doing the vertical in and out routes as well, or option routes. Then the offensive line did a better job of blocking for Tom Brady in the second half, to where he wasn't sacked, he wasn't even touched, he got rid of the ball out of his hand. Brandon Cook stepped up big, Danny Amendola stepped up big, and he also had 2 critical touchdowns, especially on the second goal touchdown in the fourth quarter, where he kept his toes in. So that was a pretty good play, and defense stepped up big. As I predicted on a third down play, James Harrison almost had a strip sack fumble, which I called it out on last week, if you want to go back to it, but the fumble was not recovered. But he's a huge part of the Patriots defense. This is why Bill Belichick signed him, because he knows how to utilize him to his full advantage, and he did his job. Almost had this fumble recovery off that strip sack. And on fourth down, when the play needs to be made, Stephon Gilmore made the biggest play of the game on defense to seal the deal, where Blake Bortles' pass was to the receiver, and Stephon Gilmore just went ahead and batted down. That was the big play of the game, and you tell all that money they spent on him is well money spent. The Patriots usually don't spend money like that on big free agent names, but they need the cornerback, and he's a good corner, and he stepped up big. So overall, it was offense, defense, and special team. On third, it was 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 11 when New England was trying to get the Jacksonville Jaguars to use the timeouts to run out the clock. Dion Lewis scrambled outside the numbers for a first down for 15 yards. Game, set, match, checkmate. And for the Jacksonville Jaguars, you was up by 10 points, and they couldn't be more aggressive. They played not to lose. When you play not to lose, especially against the Patriots, that's a problem, and especially on defense, because once Rob Gronkowski went out, why would you switch to zone instead of staying man? If you would have stayed in man coverage, Brady wouldn't have a lot of opportunities. So you switched up the zone. If you play zone against Brady, he's going to slice and dice to eat you up. So you have to play man. Unfortunately, they didn't. And for the Jacksonville Jaguars, this is a learning lesson for them. And they want to complain about the pass interference call and all that. You can say all that, but you were up by 10 points. There's no excuse for blowing a 10-point lead. You're on the road trying to get a Super Bowl, and there's no excuse for that. Also, they need to eat a lot of humble pie, because they was doing all that chirping, talking, how that they was going to win the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, they did not back up their words. And that's all I got to say about that.
It goes back to right around 2.5 minutes ago in the first half there. You just, you let the Shaw say experience matters. I mean, Patriots didn't come out of a timeout, get the delay of game on 3rd and 7. They, regardless of the end result of the play there, you can't do that. You can't call timeout and get the delay of game like that. They got more than necessary 7 yards on the play there, and never mind how that end result of the drive. They were up 14-3 at the time. That third down conversion would have put, at least for the moment, would have had them in field goal range. But even without that, they can at least, it's first down, they can run some more clock. Patriots probably don't get the ball back. I'm just kind of playing the guessing game here, but even if the score doesn't change, time runs out, it's 14-3. They're in field goal range. Maybe they're up 17-3. There was still over 2 minutes to go. Maybe they're up 21-3. New England had to stop in that half, really, for the most part. Not the second quarter they had. So, Jacksonville just can't, you can't have a delay of game coming out of a timeout like that. You just change the whole game. Mike pretty much touched on everything in the second half there. I'm not going to, reiterate anything he already said. You just can't have that happen. Can't have that happen.
And I think, my honest opinion, this is Blake Bortles' last time playing as a Jacksonville Jaguar. He played his butt off in this game to win it, But going forward in the offseason, I'm going to have to say this might be his last game as a Jacksonville Jaguar.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, like you said, I mean, give your hats off to him. He definitely showed up and showed that he could play big time football in big moments. Unfortunately, they would come up short, and the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, and my point is, why did you let your foot off the gas and play conservative? You're supposed to play to win the game, not play to lose. If you play to lose, you're going to lose the game. So the play calling, offense to defense kind of hurt the Jacksonville Jaguars' chances to go to the Super Bowl.
Anything else you want to touch on that?
Would like to see him get Mercedes Lewis back in the lineup there. I mean, not back in the lineup, but get him more involved. Would have also liked to see him get TJ Yeldon a little more involved too here. Kind of an apology to TJ Yeldon. I said last week that Jacksonville didn't have that Kenyon Drake, that Kareem Hunt, kind of running back. Admittedly forgot about him. They do. And it also needs to be noted that Jacksonville went the whole year without their leading receiver, now Allen Robinson as well. So when next year they get the Allen brothers healthy again, I don't think Bortles is going anywhere. I mean, at very worst, he's Joe Flacco 2.0. So I mean, if he keep coming up money in the playoffs for him, keep the guy.
And also a big moment for the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, where Dion Lewis had that first down, Miles Jack had that fumble recovery. Offensively, they ain't turn it into points, so that was another downfall for that one.
This is definitely a tough, heartbreaking loss. Definitely once again for the Jacksonville Jaguars, as they would fall after leading in the fourth quarter to the New England Patriots. They would end up falling short to the Patriots by a score of 24-20. That's going to take us to, of course, the NFC side of the playoffs, where the Philadelphia Eagles would decisively defeat the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 38-7. This was one I actually didn't see coming.
Nobody saw it coming.
I expected a much better performance by the Vikings overall, and that did not happen at all. It was lopsided clearly, but to touch on that, we're going to start with the Minnesota Vikings offensively. Case Keenum, 28 of 48 on pass attempts. He would complete passes for 271 yards. He would have a touchdown. However, he would throw 2 picks in this contest. Jerick McKinnon, 11 catches, 86 yards. Total offense, 333 yards with 22 first downs. Their time of possession was 25 minutes and 56 seconds. They would go 6 of 13 on third downs with 3 turnovers in this contest. Defensively, they would have 1 sack, 4 tackles for loss, and 0 turnovers. The Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Foles, 26 of 33, 352 yards, as well as 3 completions to the house. JAJ, is what I like to call him, 18 rushes, 73 yards. Solid performance. Zach Ertz, 8 catches, 93 yards. Total offense for Philly, 456 yards of total offense with 27 first downs, which means they were moving those chains. Time of possession, 34 minutes and 4 seconds. 10 of 14 on third downs with 0 turnovers. So that definitely just shows you how they executed on offense and how efficient that they were. Nick Foles, he's definitely done a good job, like we talked about, since Carson Wentz has gone down. Definitely just added more to his case in this game as well. Defensively for the Eagles, 1 sack. They would have a tackle for a loss, 2 interceptions, and 1 fumble recovery. Luke, I'd like to start with you with this one. How was Philadelphia just able to just completely outplay the Vikings, start to finish?
I mean, you look at the first half of that game, and it could have been, actually could have been advantage Vikings. I mean, they did have a 7-0 lead, and then they threw the pick 6, and then right when the defense is coming apart, they get the ball down, they're back inside at the 20-yard line, possibly inside the 20-yard line. They fumble at least, 3 points away there. So, I mean, if you take away the pick 6, it's going to be a 7-7 game. If they get at least a field goal out of that, they're up 10-7. So, but I mean, Foles was just so he had 0 incompletions in that second half. He's throwing 60-yard flea pickers, however long they're going for there, and I mean, every pass is spot on the money. I mean, I don't think Wentz could have played much better if he'd have stayed healthy. I mean, 352 yards, no interceptions. I mean, he played a absolute perfect second half. I also really like what Philadelphia did in the second half there when they got overly aggressive, and you rarely see teams with that kind of lead do that. Kind of looking at you, Kansas City, which is odd because Peterson comes off that Andy Reid coaching tree, so the way they were taking shots down the field up 24-7, up 31-7, still just go, go, go. And I think they may have been trying to send the Patriots a little something to think about too. Should they beat the Patriots, they know it's going to take 4 quarters, but the Patriots are going to spend that much more time in practice in the 2 weeks leading up. Maybe game planning for things they're not going to see. Wasting time from areas that need to improve on or whatever else to prepare for. So but no, I mean, it just goes back to those 2 turnovers in the first half. There was a second half turnover too, but the game was so out of reach by then it made a little bit no difference. No, really impressive Philadelphia though. Hard to believe they were back-to-back underdogs, especially at home. Not surprising to be the underdog in Super Bowl 52 as well, but my concern about them moving forward is it's hard to play that get 2 games in a row. And I'm not sure they can play any less than that and beat the Patriots. So that's going to be the challenge for them. I am glad to get 2 weeks to prep, though.
Well, my opinion, the Vikings got caught up in the sauce in that moment from that Minnesota Miracle and translated over to not being successful. They had open score touchdown, and they showed a little exposure against the Eagles. Then they was getting ready to seem like put another self in a scoring position. Once Case Keenum threw that pick 6, they didn't recover at all. It just seemed like it took the life out of them. Then they were just playing sloppy and not doing their assignments offensively. The offensive line was not doing their job. They only had 1 sack, but they had pressure, and I felt like the offensive coordinator should open up the playbook more instead of doing these running back screens, slant routes here and there. This is a playoffs. You have to be aggressive. You can't just be a step back and expect something. I'm like, this is the Eagles' defense. They have one of the best front 7 in the game, but their secondary is still suspect.
Yeah, it begs the question what a healthy Bradford or a healthy Bridgewater would be able to do. It also begs the question what would a healthy Dalvin Cook bring to that game as well.
Yeah. And, so yeah, I'm like, I like the Eagles' front 7, but their secondary is still suspect because on that opening drive, that secondary gave a wide open touchdown to Kyle Rudolph. I mean, he was just by himself, and that's something that they have to clean up against the Patriots because when the Patriots play, like I was alluded to last week, they do not run the same play every week. They're going to motion players here and out and cause confusion for the defense. So they have to work in that aspect, and other than that, it's just I'm shocked that the Vikings defense gave up 38 points. They were the #1 scoring defense in the league, and
to be fair, the defense gave up 31. There was a pick 6 in there.
Well, yeah, the defense gave up 31 points. I'm just like, wow.
That's still a little mind blowing as well, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, was it a different environment that they're into? Because and the Philadelphia Eagles field, their crowd is ridiculously there, and it's loud too. But I also know it's miscommunication with the secondary because there was open wide receivers was wide open. Sometimes Philadelphia Eagles receivers have to work to get open, and they just made it look easy. It was just wide open. I'm just like, was there miscommunication here or there? Overall, offense, defense, and special teams, the Vikings just crumbled. And the Philadelphia Eagles offense, give them credit. They played well. They ran the ball efficiently with Garrett Blunt and A.J. Ajayi. Then the passing game was phenomenal for Nick Foles. He nearly had all day. He could call up his wife and had his wife make dinner. Hey, babe, what you doing? Oh, touchdown. I'll be home for dinner. Something like that. And the receivers was able to get good separation and wide open touchdowns. I mean, it was just, they made the Vikings defense look silly. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles defense, Fletcher Cox, he was balling. He was getting after it, putting pressure on the quarterback. The numbers may not show in sacks, but they got enough pressure to collapse the pocket. And also, the secondary has to do better. They got lucky with the pick six, but if it was like a Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, or Tom Brady, you're not going to get that easy pick six. So their secondary has to be careful of being overly aggressive. Because one mistake, if you're overly aggressive, that could be the ball game. So that's my intake for the Eagles going forward. But other than that, they're in a Super Bowl rematch with the Patriots.
Super Bowl, this is, let's talk about the rematch for the Patriots.
39.
Yep. Super Bowl 39 back in 2005, February 6th then. Same quarterback back then, Tom Brady. Starting quarterback, still playing and still adding to his Hall of Fame resume. Quarterback back then.
One little oddity I want to throw in there. Super Bowl 39 was in Jacksonville, who the Patriots just beat, and Super Bowl 52 is in Minnesota, who Philadelphia just happened to beat as well.
And I like to throw
6 degrees.
And I also like to throw a little something out there. It seems like would the Kansas City Chiefs blow out the Patriots in the 2014 season and the 2017 season, for some reason the Patriots always go back to the Super Bowl, either win it out or play it. So it's kind of like
the Chiefs also won a close game against the Seahawks that year, who lost the Super Bowl, and they won a somewhat close game against the Eagles this year.
So it seems like a kind of curse to where it's a blessing to lose against the Chiefs, then you be playing the Super Bowl. I'm just throwing that out there.
Definitely, the Eagles definitely won in surprising fashion. Definitely thought it was going to be a more competitive game between these two. I definitely agree with what you were talking about. They could have maybe had a Minnesota Miracle hangover in that game and kind of just been maybe a little overconfident in that game against Philadelphia.
And I was the only one who picked the Eagles.
I mean, I'm definitely I'm gonna take it for this one because I definitely expected the Minnesota Vikings. You were in position to be the first NFL team in history to host the Super Bowl. You were right there, and not only did you lose a football game, but it's also how you lost is what makes it worse.
And they got caught up in the sauce because my thing is they was probably getting hyped up for the parade and all this other stuff. I'm like, you have a game to play to go to the Super Bowl. So I didn't see their focus was in that game or whatever. It was just a dysfunctional disaster.
Definitely a learning lesson. I mean, would you agree for the Minnesota Vikings that you do have to remain focused? That was a huge win. I mean, you took out a Hall of Fame quarterback, Drew Brees, and a great Saints team on top of that.
All three of the quarterbacks, so none of them are signed for next year either. They got some decisions to make.
That's actually really interesting. I mean, I want to ask you this, though, before we move forward. If you are with the Vikings, despite this play, would you keep KC?
You got to. You got to roll with him because, I mean,
He'd be the most contract friendly.
Yeah, and plus with Teddy Bridgewater, I mean, I'm a big Teddy Bridgewater fan, but how's he going to come back off that ACL, Teddy? It could have ended his career the way they were saying it early in the season. So you have to roll with Case Keenum. I mean, he took you out to the NFC Championship game, and it was sort of making the Super Bowl. So why not continue right that way?
Absolutely, and this definitely is going to make for an interesting offseason as well. When you look at both the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship, you got to make quarterback decisions in Jacksonville as well after those 2 million Patriots. So it's going to be interesting to talk about. And of course, you're going to catch those news, and we'll definitely break those down right here on Gameball NFL Endzone. And with that being said, we're going to take a small break, and of course, we're going to talk about Super Bowl 52. Stay right here.
Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Gameball NFL Endzone, where the football season never ends. we're going to go ahead and jump into Super Bowl 52, taken by these two teams right here, the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles. If many of us remember as football fans, they did also square off in Super Bowl 39, which took place in Jacksonville, Florida. Tom Brady then leading the New England Patriots over the Philadelphia Eagles, then led by star quarterback Donovan McNabb. They would be victorious in that matchup by a score of 24-21. Can we have a repeat of history? Can Tom Brady defeat the Philadelphia Eagles for 2 Super Bowls in his legacy? That's going to be something that's yet to be seen. Luke, I want to start off with you with this one. How would you break down this matchup?
Going back to that Super Bowl 39 matchup, it was tied at the end of 1, it was tied at half, it was tied at the end of 3. I think we might see something pretty close to that game this year too. I don't know. I mean, plus you look at all 7 of the Tom Brady Super Bowls, win or lose. I mean, their largest margin of victory / defeat was about 6 points, and that game went to overtime last year. So
the greatest comeback ever.
I mean, anyone saying 30-10 Patriots or 50-0, I mean, that's just not how Tom Terrific likes to win his Super Bowls. He likes to put it on Vinatieri. He likes to put it on Deion Branch. He likes to put it on whoever else, or Eli Manning maybe. I don't know. I mean, but no, it's I expect nothing less than if not a good game, then at least a good fourth quarter.
Or it could be another Malcolm Butler interception in that Super Bowl against the Seahawks. We don't know what's going to happen, what's going to go down, but I expect this to be a very close game because for the Philadelphians to win this game, offensively, you have to run the ball. You got to be a little bit aggressive. You can't take your foot off the gas because second half, that's when the Patriots are at their best. And everybody knows it. It's easier said than done, but you have to go do it. For instance, Atlanta Falcons, they didn't get the job done. They had a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl. Seattle Seahawks was up by 10 against the Patriots in that Super Bowl. Didn't get a job done either. And Jacksonville Jaguars was up at 10 against the Patriots, AFC Championship game. Didn't get it done either. For those reasons, it's easier to say than do it. But most teams don't do it. So you have to be able to finish what you started. Because in the second half, you're going to get all out Tom Brady to the next level up, all-time great. Because he has done it, and he has seen it all. So you're going to have to ball out on defense. Now, the secondary is a question mark to me. At the opening drive against the Vikings, Darby, he's a good player in the box and he likes to tackle, but sometimes he can be suspect in coverage, and along with Mills, because sometimes he can try to be over-aggressive, go for interceptions, instead of making a tackle, play for loss, and gives up a big game. And the safeties are a liability, especially with Gronk comes back healthy. More likely he will off that concussion. Thank goodness it wasn't another ACL tear or arm tear or something like that. You're going to have to cover Gronk. Gronk is a big dude. I mean, you're going to have to put 2 people over him. I mean, he's 6'6", 260. That is big. So you have to, double him up. You also have to cover speedy wide receiver Brandon Cooks coming out the outside. And you also have to have cover Chris Hogan inside as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough task for the secondary, but can they get the job done? That's something to be said. Also, you have to worry about the running backs in the passing game, to where you're going to have to cover Dion Lewis, Rex Burkhead, or James White coming out the backfield. So, who's going to line up with who? We don't know. It's a tough task for the Eagles defense. They do rotate defensive alignment, but can you get to Tom Brady quick enough? That's going to be a challenge. Offensively, you have to be aggressive and score points. So if you're able to do that, then you'll be able to win this game. For the Patriots, you have to start off fast offensively. Get it going, just like you did an opening drive against the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. But instead of getting 3 points, they want to punch in there for the touchdown. So then the offensive line has one of their toughest challenges. They went up against probably the best defensive front seven in the league. You agree? So their front seven and they rotate a lot of players. It's going to be a challenge, but I think they can live up to that challenge. Their running game is going to be there, here, and there. But the passing game is that's where the factor is to exposing their defense. They're not going to run the same plays as I was alluding to. They're going to do a lot of motion and try to get matchups in the middle one-on-one. Gronkowski's going to come back. He's going to be a huge target. And he also could be a decoy as well. And have Damian Abdullah come in the middle. Then you got the receivers coming out of the backfield. So you have to be able to make explosive plays on offense. Defense, you have to stop the run. Load up the box and stop the runs. They already stopped Henry in the divisional rounds. They kept Leonard Fournette in check in the AFC Championship round. Can they do it again? And this time, you don't have to worry about one running back. You got to worry about two. Garrett Blunt, a former Patriot, and A.J. Ajayi. They got speed and they got power. So you have to force Nick Foles to beat you and not let him be comfortable in the pocket, which I think Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia geniuses come to where getting creative on defenses to get the quarterback and stop the runs. And I like the Patriots secondary better than the Eagles secondary because they have much better cover guys that can tackle well in space, and they also can communicate well with one another, as the Minnesota Vikings didn't do that. So they can communicate well with one another. This is a big challenge for them, and they're always about business. They block out outside the world, and this is why I love Bill Belichick in the press conference. Because when they have, when somebody asks him a question, he deflects it off and we're on to the Eagles. He deflects it off with something else. And his press conference, he's like, you act like Tom Brady's having an open heart surgery. It's just a hand injury. That was quoted what he was saying. So the Patriots are so well prepared. I don't think they get enough credit. And a lot of teams try to emulate them. And a lot of fans hate them because they can say they cheat or whatever because they're winning. They're always in the same position every year. That's why the NFL teams and fans get tired seeing them in the Super Bowl. Well, you have to appreciate the dynasty because this may be the last time we may see them in the Super Bowl. So this week, they're going to use their preparation and be prepared and do a lot of studying just like they did Jacksonville and pay out. They talk about, we got to do this, we got to do this. They preach it. And situational football, that's what Bill Belichick preaches. Situational football, especially 2-minute offense to where if you get further in practice the same play, Belichick will chew your behind out until you play in this game. Once you play in this game, then you be able to know that same play and all that stuff. So they are the best team in the situational football. So once they get that done, I think they'll be a good Super Bowl team to win.
This is a great matchup. I think it's going to be an offensive game. I definitely think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's actually going to be a really exciting Super Bowl, in my opinion. This is another great test for the New England Patriots. They had a good test against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're going to have just equally as good a challenge. You have a great dynamic offense with Philadelphia, and you also have an explosive defense as well. I think it's going to be a great challenge for New England, definitely. I'm excited to see this matchup, and it's exciting. This is an opportunity for Tom Brady to also add to his legacy. You are 2-0 against a franchise in the Super Bowl. You beat a team twice in the Super Bowl. That to me in itself is impressive. So, I mean, with that being said, when we do predictions, it's going to be tough. I'm going to have to think about this one for a second.
I'm not sure the Patriots can cover Aguilar or Jeffries, though. They're just too big and too fast.
So we're going to go ahead and get into it.
Did you want to break down, Luke?
No, I mean, I just like how you mentioned the Garrett Blunt. He's, should the Patriots win, they're, 44, 45 guys, whoever was on the team last year, could be going back to back. But if the Eagles win, the Garrett Blunt gets his second Super Bowl in a row. Hashtag Rumble.
And you also, yes, they're big receivers and all that, but thank you for bringing this up. My thing is they're not going to allow a receiver. New England's not going to allow single coverage. They're going to allow the safety over top to cover that, and that's what Belichick does best: is take your best player away from you, have him to beat you with other players.
I want to give a shout out to Chris Long of the Philadelphia Eagles in this game too. He played this year for free. His first 6 game checks went to hurricane relief. His last 10 game checks went back to his alma mater, the University of Virginia. This guy's in the Super Bowl, and he got there literally for free. So hats off to him.
Absolute doubt. With that being said, gentlemen, it's time to go ahead and make our predictions for Super Bowl 52. Mike, I'm going to start with you.
I'm going to roll with this team, the New England Patriots. I'm going to put this on. Yeah, I'm going to take it off because it's too big for my head. But I'm going to roll with the Patriots because Tom Brady has seen it all. He's seen it all against the best of the best defense. He's seen that against a very good Seattle Seahawks defense in the Super Bowl 50, if I'm correct. Then he's seen it against Atlanta Falcons, and he's seen it against Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, they're in perfect position to win this game. I think they're being a more prepared team, and I don't trust the Eagles secondary because sometimes they can get over aggressive and make a mistake. And I think it's going to come down to the Patriots defense making a play. I think that they can collapse the pocket against Nick Foles because Nick Foles is not going to have all day like he did against the Vikings. It's going to be something different. So I'm going to say the score comes out to New England wins their 6th Super Bowl to be the best dynasty ever in football history. So I'm going to say 27-24 Patriots.
Picked Atlanta over Philadelphia. Picked Minnesota over Philadelphia. I'm going to pick the Patriots over Philadelphia too. So Eagle Nation, you can thank me later. I'm going to go 30-27 though. 30-27. I think it's going to be just a back and forth game. Eagles score a fourth quarter touchdown to go 27-23, and we've done seen this before. Brady going to do it again. He's going to get that touchdown with 2 minutes or less to go in the game. 30-27 Patriots. It's just an absolute nail biter.
And I also think that they're going to tire out the defense. They're going to get on their heels, and they're going to do something to where they're not going to rotate all their players. It's going to be a hurry up or a regular. Hurry up or regular. We don't know what the Patriots offense is going to be because they don't run the same plays. It's going to be a mixture of different looks. Based on your defense and based on the way you play, it's going to be where the offense is what they're going to run.
This is going to be an opportunity for Nick Foles to spoil a lot of teams' predictions.
Be like Jeff Hofstadter all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just going to say I really like the Patriots in this one. There's something that doesn't have me thinking that Philadelphia is going to come out with this one. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I think this is probably going to be one of the best Super Bowls that we've had in a while. I think it's going to be a score. I'm going to say it's going to be. I'm going to give it 38. I'm going to say 38-28. I'm going to give it to the Patriots. Tom Brady is going to have 2 hands worth of rings, and he is going to be the most hated man in Philadelphia ever because he's going to beat the Eagles for the 2nd time for a Super Bowl.
If the Patriots win the Super Bowl, Tom Brady is 4-0 against the Birds, and 2 of them twice.
With that being said, that is going to be our predictions, and that is going to do it for this segment of Gameball NFL Endzone.
Social media, you can follow us at Facebook, Gameball NFL Endzone / Gameball College Kickoff. Email gck.gnfle@gmail.com. Twitter, you can follow us on our official page at gck_gnfle. Same thing with Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter, Gameball, all capitalized _MYKE. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at gck.gnfletv, and we also got a website to where you can purchase our merchandise, hoodies, shirts, long sleeve zip up hoodies at tokendesignstopeka.com/gameball. So shop around, get your new merchandise, and sport one of our logos.
Cop that merch.
And you?
Social media, of course, on Instagram and Twitter, you can follow me at JovelENT, that is JOVELLEENT, all one word, and also you can find me on Facebook under Marcus JovelENTJ.
I'm on Facebook at Luke Hartnett, that's HARTNETT, Instagram at Luke Hartnett, Twitter at Luke Hartnett2.
Alright, and that'll do it for this edition of Gameball Info Endzone. Once again, thank you everyone for supporting us. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. Definitely appreciate everyone that's been following us on Twitter as well. All the love and support that we've also been getting on Facebook. Once again, we could not do this without you guys. Next episode, we're going to recap Super Bowl 52 and talk about what happened.
All right. Peace and love, everyone. Be safe.